Hi there. Welcome to another installment of Wine About It with your host, Claire. I'm here with Morgan and with Nathan, who were just evicted from Survivor Trial by Fire. So, Morgan, Nathan, wine about it. Tell me what happened.
Okay, I'll go first
Okay.
since I feel like I have like a sad story. So you saw me trip.
Yeah.
It
did
was
see
a
you
like
trip.
a long trip.
It was a long
It was
trip.
like from here to like.
Yeah, it really lasted a while.
I didn't realize I could have been. I was trying to spell it as I was going, and I didn't realize I could have been just picking out the letters. And then at the last thing, I picked up and thought it was an H, but it was an I. So I tried to spell Lunchable, and I would have got immunity, but it was an I. So
Oh, that's rough.
yeah.
Yeah.
What's your sob story? What happened?
I got blindsided with the idol in my pocket. Well, not necessarily in my pocket, but like very nearby. I thought we were set to go, but I'm not actually sure why I was blindsided.
Me too. Me
This
too.
is-
Literally me too.
We have a double blindside here, folks.
No.
This is absolutely news to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was both by one vote. It wasn't even
Mhm.
like the whole tribe was going for one person.
And more than like 4 people were like, oh, this person.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'll be fine. Can't trust anyone.
So, individually, who is the person that's still in the game or that already got evicted that you trusted the most throughout this game?
Austin was my closest ally, and he still was. He didn't blindside me. Both him and Heather were on my side, and then Abrielle and Caroline flipped on me.
Gotcha.
So still them. So yeah, best of luck to them.
I had Liliana on my side, and I think Grant was also on my side, just because we were on the same team in the beginning. And I guess where I went wrong, I was the one that, because no one was really saying anything about who to eliminate, so I was the first one to like just throw a name out there, and it was because it was like 5 of us, and Liz had immunity, and it was John over there, and I was like, how can we talk about one of us right now? The only person we can talk about eliminating right now is John. And so I was saying that, and then I guess Matthew. I think Matthew like betrayed me.
Gotcha.
Because he was like, oh man, John really? And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
So
What would you say was the strongest part of your game today?
I guess like I was pretty strong in most of the challenges. Turns out I can lasso pretty well, so that's a new talent. And yeah, I almost won the individual immunity today, but I just like, I thought that everybody had 6 letters, and turns out that Heather had 7, and I just didn't count correctly. So I had 7, so I called it quits, but I still had another minute, and I could have added an S on the end and beat her. And then I wouldn't be in this predicament. But definitely like socializing too. Like I talk to everybody. I'm a
Me
social
too.
butterfly.
Yeah.
I was like, in the beginning I was like friends with like everyone. Like I was talking to everyone. I thought I was fine. Like I thought that I was like the one person that like they would want to keep me in just because like.
Right. And they probably just like see that as a threat.
Yeah.
And I guess like when I was like strategizing with everybody, I'm like, okay, well like, who do y'all think that like you can't beat like in the long run in like the challenges? And I kind of like forgot that like I actually almost won the immunity challenge. So
Yeah.
that probably was.
Yeah.
And I
not
did
the
almost.
best
I
advice.
almost did win
Yeah.
I almost did win
With
with Lunchable.
Lunchable.
So I guess.
Yeah.
I was outside of the box thinking.
Oh, it's because I picked a U and I was like, literally, what word starts with LU? And I was like,
Lunch. Perfect.
So this is both of your first times playing Survivor,
Mhm.
correct?
mhm.
So did either of you have any sort of knowledge of the game of Survivor coming in, or did you kind of come in blind and you were just gonna figure it out?
Well, I mean, if you say like, if you count Total Drama Island as a. No.
I don't know
So
what that
no.
is.
So no.
No.
Yeah, I definitely do. I love watching Survivor. So I
Okay.
think that maybe like I came into it like a little too strategic. You know,
Okay.
I was excited though. This is fun stuff.
Do you think it gave you any sort of advantage, kind of knowing the game really well?
Yeah, no, I definitely think so because at first like a lot of them just like didn't get how it worked, and so I could kind of like gauge like all of their personalities a lot quicker because they weren't really like playing the game yet. So
So my next question is a little bit shady. Who do you want to see kicked off the island next?
I think that it should be Abrielle and I mean that in the nicest way possible because I just think that she's smart and I think that she's a threat and very sneaky because this will be like the second vote that she has like flipped on me. And I think that like for whatever reason like people don't see her as a threat because she's not necessarily a physical threat. But yeah, I think she should be gone next for sure.
I think either Liz, just because she did win immunity, and I think she's one of them who like she was like the last person to come up to me and was like, so John, right? And only 3 people voted for John, and I trust Grant and Liliana, and I was one of them too. So I think Liz should go. I think she's the one that's sneaky.
Yeah, she's definitely a threat, and she's so quiet. So like,
Those are the ones you gotta watch
Yeah.
for.
right.
So we're already kind of talking about this a little bit, but who do you think might take it all? Who do you think has the best chance of winning? Like who's doing really well?
I mean, I haven't spent a lot of time with like their tribe,
Yes.
but I could see Abrielle winning it. But I honestly don't think she'll get much further because I think people are kind of on to her and her like snake-like abilities. But I definitely think that Austin could win just because he's so like
I agree.
bubbly. And he is like good in the challenges, but not that anybody like sees him as a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so like he kind of like sneaks right past
That
their
makes
radar.
sense. Yeah.
I also think Austin too,
Austin?
because I also know that like he's done like Big Brother and stuff, so he might kind of have like an advantage there.
Yeah.
Like, so he's like been around this kind of stuff.
Yeah. So the show is called Wine About It. I have a nice chilled glass of red wine here with me. If you could compare your game to a beverage, what would it be and why? You can take your time, get creative.
Capri Sun.
How come?
Well, just because like I feel like I'm like a type of person like that like everyone like would like and stuff, like because I'm very like social and like I'm very like polite and like talkative to everyone, and I thought they like were like me back or whatever, but I also like I know some people don't like Capri Suns and like maybe that's why.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. I was going to say margarita because like it starts off it's like, oh my god, what a good idea, like I'm just gonna, it gets better with every sip and then all of a sudden the tequila hits you and you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
like and so I think I kind of like went a little too hardcore there in the end.
Frozen or on the rocks?
Definitely on the rocks, they're stronger.
And with salt or sugar?
Salt.
Because we're a little bit salty.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah. So did you guys have fun today?
Yes.
Oh my god, so much fun.
And would you guys want to play again?
Duh.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Of course.
Well, guys, this has been another fun episode of Wine About It with me, Claire, and also with Morgan and Nathan from Survivor Trial by Fire. We'll see you next time. Cheers.